Are you hitting the gym, lifting weights, doing cardio, maybe taking classes, but you're feeling frustrated from the lack of results from your workouts? So in this video, I'm gonna discuss the most common reasons why people are not progressing and getting results from their workouts and what you can do about it. Number one reason why you not might be progressing from your workouts, and this is the most common and important one from my own experience as a coach for over a decade of experience working with hundreds of clients, is lack of consistency. And that might be an obvious one, but it's very important because you can have the most scientifically optimized training program or a nutritional plan. But if you are not consistent with it, you're not gonna get the results, because physical change, physical performance, weight loss, muscle gain takes time and repetition. And inconsistency is like starting over and over again, which resets the progress. I would rather have you following a training or a nutritional plan that maybe is not the most scientifically optimized plan, but allows you to be consistent with it. If you're showing up consistently and you're working hard, you're gonna get the results. Now, what are things that we can do to be more consistent with training? For me, I think number one is set realistic expectations. If you can only work out 2 or 3 times a week because of your busy work schedule, then don't say that you're gonna work out 5 times a week. Start slow. If you can only do 2 times a week, that's great. Do that, be consistent with it, build some momentum, create routines and habits, and then over time, you might build up to maybe 3 or 4 times a week. So set up realistic expectations. Number 2, create a plan or a training plan that you enjoy or you like somehow. Because if you do something that you actually enjoy, you're gonna be more consistent with it. But the reality is not every part of your workouts you're gonna necessarily like, but you can learn how to love it or make it more enjoyable. So for example, maybe you can listen to a music when you're working out, or working out with your friend, or have some type of reward activity after your workout. And also it's very important to remind yourself how you feel after your workout. Do you feel more energized? Do you feel more accomplished? Do you feel like you're doing something positive for your body and for your health? And remind yourself why you're doing this, why training and taking care of your body, taking care of your health is important in your life. So that's going to be very important, making the workouts more enjoyable and reminding yourself why this is important to you. Another thing is schedule your workouts on the calendar, because if it's not going to be scheduled, it's not going to be done. And try to make them non-negotiable. This is part of your life. This is part of investment into your health, and health have effect on many different aspects of your life, or all the aspects of your life, such as work, relationship, family. So you want to make sure that you schedule that in the calendar and make it non-negotiable. Now, if something comes up, you cannot work out on Tuesday, for example, try to maybe schedule that on a different day, but prioritize taking care of your body. Another thing is celebrate small wins. For example, let's say you see that you're actually getting stronger, you're lifting more weights, or the clothes fits better on your body, you have more energy, you haven't skipped your workouts for the last 3 to 4 weeks. Celebrate those small victories, because they're gonna create positive momentum and it's gonna empower you, it's gonna motivate you to keep going. So those are my tips for consistency. Another very common reason why people are not getting results from their workouts is because they don't have a training plan. Yes, they might be coming to the gym, doing bootcamp classes, lifting weights, doing some cardio, but they don't have anything specific. And if you're constantly doing random exercises, random workouts, you vary too much and too frequently, then you're not working on anything specific. And random workouts is gonna give you random results. If you want to improve your strength, improve your endurance, whatever you want to accomplish, you need to have a specific plan. You have to have a roadmap to get from point A to point B. So if you need help with a training plan, make a comment below and I'm gonna offer a free customized training plan based on your goals for the first 10 people who make a comment in this video with a flex emoji, and I hope that will be helpful for you. Another common reason why people are not getting results from their workouts is because they don't progressively overload and they don't push themselves. If you're doing the exercise with the same repetitions, the same weights, you're doing cardio on the same pace or the same length, the adaptation or the physical change will not happen. Progressive overload means that with time, the workout or the exercises should be gradually more challenging. That means with time, you should be increasing maybe a little more reps or increasing the weight on your exercises, or maybe doing a little more sets, or doing your cardio a little more intensely. It doesn't have to be much, and it doesn't necessarily have to be every week, but with time, we have to challenge ourselves. If you're spending so much time on the gym on the phone or socializing, that's cool, but don't be frustrated if you're not getting results. So when you're going to the gym, go to the gym, focus with intent, with purpose, try to challenge yourself. You can use RPE as a rate of perceived of exertion, and that's a number from 1 to 10, 10 meaning that your exercise is the hardest, maximum effort. You want to be around probably 7 to 9 RPE depending on the day of the exercise that you are doing. You can also use RIR, or reps in reserve, meaning how many reps do you have left in the tank. So for example, let's say you're doing a squat for 10 reps, but you could do 15. That means you have 5 reps left in the tank. So you want to be around 5 or less reps in reserve when you are doing your exercises. I hope that makes sense. Another reasons why people are not progressing is because they're not tracking the metrics, such as they're not tracking how much weight they are lifting or how much repetitions they are doing on the exercises or sets. They're not tracking their nutrition, even loosely or in a ballpark. They're not tracking their weight or doing the measurements. If you don't track those metrics, then it's going to be very difficult for you to know if you are progressing. And I think having that data of knowing how much weight you are lifting or tracking that, how much repetitions you are doing, or how many calories you're consuming, kind of in a ballpark at least, is going to give you important data to know if what you are doing is effective and what you can do to make adjustments if you plateau or if you're not progressing. So personally, when my clients following the program, they tracking all the data, such as the repetitions, the weights, and the app, and that's going to allow me to know if what we are doing is actually working or not, and then we can adjust accordingly. The next reason is lack of proper recovery and overall lifestyle. That includes your sleep, your nutrition, and like I said, overall lifestyle. So for example, if you're not getting enough sleep, it's going to be very difficult for you to lose fat, build muscle, or getting stronger. If you overtraining, doing too much of training, then your body is not recovering appropriately and is actually going to be detraining. You can also increase the risk for injuries. So when you have a training plan, the training plan should include days that are higher in intensity, medium in intensity, or maybe having also schedule recovery days as well. Making sure you're getting enough sleep. Like I said, around 7, 8, 9 hours, depending on the person. Make sure your nutrition is pretty good. You don't have to be perfect with all of those things, but you want to be in a ballpark. So make sure you're eating good quality, whole, nutritious foods, getting enough protein, around 0.7 or 1 gram per pound of body weight. Making sure that you're eating your vegetables, your fruits, staying hydrated, taking your vitamins, managing your stress, and having relaxation or recovery days. Because if the recovery is not there, like I said, you're not going to be able to progress, because you are getting stronger, you're building muscle, not when you're training. That's the stimulus, that's the stressor, but when you're actually recovering. During your workouts, that's when your body sends signals to the muscles to maybe get stronger or build the muscle. That's when you're damaging muscle fibers. But when you're recovering, when you're sleeping, taking days off, nourishing your body, that's when your body is repairing itself and have enough resources to create adaptation. So recovery is very important. If you're not going to recover appropriately, your progress is also going to stale. And the last one is having unrealistic expectations. Physical change, improving your performance, weight loss, all those different things takes time. So don't have expectations that in 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to lose, 30, 40 pounds and you're going to drastically change your body. Those things takes repetitions, takes time. So be patient, treat this as a marathon, not a sprint. That's why a lot of people, when they're going on those aggressive diets or training plans that promise weight loss 30 pounds in 1 month, they might be able to lose a bunch of weight quickly, but then they're regaining all that weight back on because that was not sustainable and was just too aggressive. So we don't want to do yo-yo dieting or crash dieting. We want to create a lifestyle and changing our behaviors and habits that's going to allow us to get in shape, be healthy, but also be able to sustain that.